Family. Let's get it.
What's going on, Style Squad?
Yeah, what up?
You already know, it's the beautiful and very talented
Nova Styles.
Gotta give it a little something.
Oh.
And
the gorgeous.
Wow.
The sexy chocolate.
I'll take it.
The intelligent. The super rich.
Everything else was true, that last one was cap. What else? That's it?
Come on, we do got we'll be here all day.
Primo Styles.
And we are the STYLES Familia. And we're back.
Back again with another
video for 25 days of style.
Wow.
Day
number 13.
11.
Day
11. Baby can never keep up with the day.
Alright, day 11, and today we have a very interesting video for you guys because, as you know, we're traveling. Not only are we traveling with our two little ones. So we feel as though like it's not spoken about, like how to travel with dogs if you have emotional or service animals. So today in this video, we're going to tell you guys how to do that right now.
Yeah, we're going to give you 5 tips that we have experienced, like the troubles, as well as some friends that we know, people that shared with us, of traveling with dogs.
Right.
But babe, you said that we're traveling. They might think that we're still in Colombia because yesterday's video was that we were in Colombia, but we're no longer in Colombia.
Right.
Now we are in Atlanta. So I don't know, we always say we're from New York to Colombia to Atlanta, but we want to let you know now we're back on U.S. soil and we're in Atlanta. So let's get into it.
Right.
We have 5 tips, right?
5 tips.
5 tips to let you know the best way to travel with your pets. When we say pets, though, it's particularly dogs. Like our experiences with dogs.
Right.
So not like iguanas, peacocks and all
ponies.
That. We don't know the information for that. It may be similar, it may not, so you may have to do your own research, but this is particularly for
goldfish.
dogs.
We talking about dogs.
All right, babe, let's give them the first tip.
All right, so first tip. Tip number 1 is you want to have your paperwork in order. Now, paperwork could range from just proof and identification for your service/emotional support dog, any kind of vaccine shots, etc., etc. And prior to this, you also want to speak to the airline to see that if they are able to travel. So that paperwork should be in accordance with you, and you will need to present it once you get to the airline.
Right, and so some of that paperwork also includes like your vaccinations for your dog. That's essential, as well as not only specific vaccinations, but the one that usually every airline asks for are for rabies. That one is the most essential. Right. And then like Babe said, for the airlines, each airline is different as to what they want. But most of them are going to ask you for either your paperwork for your emotional support animal or service animal, as well as vaccination, and like I said, the rabies. And we're not going to go into the specific process for each airline because obviously there are so many. And we have particular experience with one airline, so we're not going to get into all of that, but we suggest for the first tip to have all of that paperwork in order so that regardless of the airline that you're traveling with, or even if you're traveling in the car, like when you have to if you have to cross states or cross borders, you need this paperwork. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to make a plan. And if you watched our holiday stress tips video, we're really about making plans. Because in that video, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. we're all about making plans and making sure we like alleviate stress as much as possible. And traveling with a dog or dogs is a stressful thing.
Right. No matter how you go about it, it is stressful. It is stressful.
But to help you alleviate some of that stress, one of the things we suggest, our second tip, is to make a plan. And so this plan includes what is going to be like your lodging, of course, the airline you're going to fly with, if you're driving, and particularly when you're traveling for the airline, going to the airport, the plan is really important because you need to map out the pet relief area, right? Yeah. And figure out where it is. That's like amazing. We had experience with this where we had flown to this particular airport with our dogs before, but this, like, the gate for the airline is so huge that when we came in to our gate, the
we'll talk about LaGuardia Airport. LaGuardia Airport is going
no, not from LaGuardia. When we came to Atlanta, we were like on the opposite end of the terminal, and there's only one pet relief in this place, and it's like 1.5 miles on the other side.
Yeah, right? No cap, it really is a mile. Yeah.
So we had to walk 1.5 miles with our dog, and one of our dogs ended up having an accident because that's just too much, right? It's too far, and there's a lot of walking. So making a plan is essential. Finding out where the pet relief areas are. You know what gate is next to, because if it's by gate number 2 and your gate by gate number 42, you need to plan that out. If I'm gonna go there first, if I'm gonna go there after, I know exactly where it is in case we have to make a dash for it. But having that plan.
Is your dog gonna be in a carrier? Usually, they don't allow dogs over 25 pounds to be on board in the plane without having their own seat. So is it a dog that's going to be walking? Is it a dog that's going to be in a carrier? If it's in a carrier, it might be easier if you're like a big guy like me to just carry him. Right.
But also, like, if you have to have that carrier too, you have to think about what bags you're carrying for yourself. Because you're gonna carry that bag, then you got your roller bag, then you have the dog's like essentials and things like that. So making a plan like that, but also the plan also includes for when you're depending on the airline. For some airlines, for your emotional support dog, you have to have a carrier, right? And in some airlines, you don't. And in some airlines, if you have a service dog, some airlines, for service dogs, I don't think for any airline.
No, for service dogs, you can have them like in your lap as well as under the seat without a carrier.
Right, but you have to, you need to know these things. That's why it's essential to have the plan already made so you know how to navigate through these things that are going to come up.
Definitely.
So that was tip number 2, make a plan, babe. Take them to number 3.
Number 3 is packing essentials. Essentials are so important. And just to go before we go into it, some essentials that we carry for ourselves is that we always have wet wipes, super hypoallergenic wet wipes is a must. We also have some treats, things of that nature, because...
Treats for ourselves?
No. Treats for ourselves too.
Snacks.
But treats for our dogs as well. You also want to have a jacket per se, like where we're going from New York, it was super cold, so we had a jacket for our dogs, but now we're in Atlanta, which is a lot warmer, so jackets that can come off and on, is very important.
Just things that are gonna make your dog's experience even better. Like the things that they like, right? Maybe they have a harness that is like a little more comfortable for them, that they have a little more wiggle room. Especially if your dog is gonna be in the carrier for the whole time, right? You want them to be like as comfortable as possible. And you have to keep, regardless, you have to keep the harness on the entire time. So you want them to have something that's comfortable. Also with packing the essentials, I think that it's important for you to pack the things that you're taking for your dog in a separate bag than yours, so that you can have like easy access to whatever you need at the moment. Maybe you need some wipes, maybe you need a poop bag, maybe it's cold and like they have their jacket on, but you need to grab their blanket. Like you don't want to be trying to go through your bag and your stuff and their bag, like with trying to get their stuff out of your bag at the same time. So just pack everything in a separate bag.
And a good finesse, I love a good finesse, is that with some service,
other people that.
with most service dogs and most airlines, the service dog actually gets a carry-on.
Yes.
So that is a major finesse, because that now you can bring a whole nother bag for that dog.
Right.
You can even sneak some of your stuff in there. You know?
But having that extra bag to make sure that you have everything you need at any given moment, because anything can happen. But having all those things in that separate bag. And so now we're gonna go to
number 4.
Tip number 4. Having a calming routine before, during, and after for your pet. Especially if it's your first time, I would say like try this out like right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because if your dog has not been, even if it's on a flight, in a car, you need to like get them to the most zenful place possible before traveling and getting on that flight. So what we do for our dogs beforehand, we give them a good massage, full body massage, to have them calm. They love massages, they love belly rubs, and it's very calming for them. So we give them a full body massage to help them like kind of like
alleviate that stress,
alleviate stress, and get them to a good place. Another thing that we do, not obviously right before the flight, but like either the night before or depending on when it is, the morning of, is Babe gives them a really like good warm bath and some deep conditioning with oatmeal in it. So oatmeal is really calming for dogs. So providing them with that bath, with that deep conditioner, like helping them to get calm. So the bath, the massage, also to have them with one of their favorite like kind of things, whatever their favorite thing is, and you have to know your dog really well to know what their favorite thing is.
A blanket,
right.
Pillow.
But whatever is gonna bring them some like calm and relief to the situation. And then during, depending on the flight that you're flying on, if you have an emotional support dog and you have to have them in the carrier, you can't take them out. You cannot take them out the carrier. So be able to making that plan, having a carrier with the little peephole so that you can open it and provide your dog with some of those rubs to calm them during the flight. Actually, recently we were just on a flight and Handsome started like getting a little antsy, so I had to like literally go down under the seat and start giving him a massage. But knowing that this is something that we have done and put into routine, it was okay. He was fine. And then afterwards, doing the same thing, ensuring that, because once they're, whether they were awake the entire time or asleep, they're going to have a lot of like energy afterwards, right? So having that plan, knowing where that pet relief station, giving them some time to run around. But once you get out of that airport, hopefully you're in a place where you can like give them some massages or let them like run or play with their toys to get some of that energy that they have to get them back from 10 to 9 back to a calm place. So that was tip number 4. Make sure you have a calming routine. Babe, take them to the last tip. The
last tip is the most important tip, and that is to never ever stress. The tips we gave you beforehand will definitely help you do that. But we want to remind the humans who watch this video. There's some dogs watch this video too. I know. Click, subscribe. But you definitely want to never stress, because again, it's all on you. It's all on you. You're the parent. You're the parent, right? So you want to never ever stress. Make that plan. Get the paperwork in. Prepare. Have that calmer routine. And pack the essentials. You do all those 4 things that we mentioned prior, and you'll never be stressed out.
And also, it's a really stressful experience, like we said, right? And things are gonna happen. Once you start going crazy and getting stressed, all that energy is going into your dog or your dogs, right?
Or your animal.
Right, or the animal that you're traveling with. So when you start getting like really anxious, really stressful, now you're projecting that energy on your dog. Now you're stressed, your dogs are stressed, like everybody's stressed, and all that the stress is gonna cause is just more situations to come up.
And that might cause you to forget the plan, to forget paperwork, to do, you start breaking down little by little, and then your animal senses that now he or she's going crazy. Don't want that to happen at all. You're the captain of the ship. You got to steer that ship. Right.
So along with you having a stressful routine for your dogs, have your stress relieve routine for you as well. If you need some squeezies, some stress balls, right? If you need to. I don't know about sleeping on a plane, because we don't get much sleep because we're always thinking about the dogs and things like that, right? Make sure you have good sleep beforehand. Make sure you have some good tea, whatever you need to relieve your stress as well. have that routine, but don't
Right.
stress in the process either.
Exactly.
Hey, those
did
are our
it.
5. Oh, we missed. we missed again. It's me.
You did it.
It's the rings. Those are the 5 tips. Okay, babe, let's recap really quickly. Number 1.
Make a plan.
No, number 1 is get your paperwork in order. Babe's like, babe's too hype. He's too hype. He's like, we
I
got
gotta calm down. I'm stressed out.
He got to do his stress routine. Number 1, get your paperwork in order. Number 2,
make a plan.
number 3,
Pack the essentials.
number 4,
Common routine.
number 5.
Do not ever stress.
Don't stress. Let them things happen and keep it moving.
Again, we want to thank you guys, Star Squad, for checking in with us.
Date number 11 in
made
the
it.
books.
In the
Not 13,
books.
not 13.
Not 13,
Date number
date number
11 in the books. Tomorrow, day
Number
12. 12 is officially halfway there, right? Well, 12.5, but there's a half
No,
a day.
talk halfway.
Tomorrow will be at the halfway mark.
That's crazy.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
I
First
think I'm
time.
a full-time YouTuber. I'm about to quit my job. Nah, we not doing that.
I'm like, wait, that Super Rich is about to go out. No. But we're doing it first time. We're going to be halfway there tomorrow. Thank you for all your love and support. And don't forget to
Like,
and
comment, share,
and
subscribe.
and if you want to make sure you see our videos every day,
You gotta beat that notification bell up, man. You gotta just tap that joint. Tap it one time.
just do it. We'll see you tomorrow.
The next one. Appreciate y'all. We out of here.
Peace.